Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to another video. My name is Tom. Thank you so much for joining me here. It's about 4:30 in the morning on August 6th, 2023. I'm out here with the Duchess. I'm letting her out before I go because today starts my very, very long road trip. I'm driving from Union, South Carolina to the Harrisburg area of Pennsylvania. And I'm going to do it all today. And it's only a few hundred miles, but the charging is what's going to be pretty interesting. And I'll show you that along the way. I am going to use a better route planner. I am going to use the Torque Pro tablet that I have. I was going to move over to a smaller Samsung tablet, but I just ran out of time. So I'm going to have to use the old one. And I'm going to have to use, I don't know how I'm going to hold it up because the mount is broken that I had for that, I guess, third screen, if you wanted to call it that. So anyway, we're going to do this trip. I'm in the middle of packing up. I'm letting her out. Unfortunately, Dutchie can't come with me because where I'm going, there's a dog there. And she does not do well with other animals. But I think that's it. How about we get the show on the road, get the car packed up, and you guys check out some pitch black driving footage. Actually, there's a moon right there. Right there. Not to be confused with that halo generating light behind me. But let's do this. I'm a little silly, but I'm pumped up and I'm hyper. I did manage to get the yard done last night before the sunset. Actually, I was doing it in the sunset, but got it all done, taken care of, so that way my wife doesn't have to worry about, the grass being 4 feet long when I get back, especially since it's supposed to rain while I'm away. So anyway, let's hit it. All right, we are at our first charging stop here in Jonesville, North Carolina. We drove about 148 miles at 3.3 miles per kilowatt hour, and I found a Shell recharge station that I thought I'd give a shot. And just like the other ones, this one works perfectly fine. Its active power is 52 kilowatts according to that screen. And if you look over here on our third display, which by the way I've mounted on a neat little desk arm that you can get on Amazon. I'll have the link down below for it. But as you can see, we're pulling almost 53,000 watts or 53 kilowatts. And because of the air conditioning being on, we're charging at 51 kilowatts. So as you can see, the gross stated charge is going up slowly but surely. And you can see here that we're pulling 148 amps into the car. So yeah, and if you're curious, there are the temperatures. I know the glare is horrible on this tablet, but I didn't have time to go to the matte screen, so yeah. So this station is located inside of a BP gas station that's actually behind me. I don't know if you can see it there. I'll walk around in a little bit. I just wanted to make sure everything was going okay, and sure enough, it is. It is exactly the same type of unit as the ones that I did in Fountain Inn, as well as the Simpsonville charging station for Shell Recharge. Identical. I'm really glad these are here. It's nice to see them, and it's really nice that Duke Energy is providing charging stations for electric vehicles. So yeah. So for those who are curious, I'm actually using a better route planner through CarPlay on here. It just makes it easier to plan, all the trips and the information and all that stuff. And it actually works out pretty well. You can kind of see here. Let me pinch out here. Zoom out, zoom out, zoom out. Hold on. Easy there, buddy. Easy. Is there yeah, there it is. So you can kind of see. Oh god, I think I went into space here with this thing. But why is it facing? See, this is what I hate about these types of systems. They're pretty, they're not really good. But there's the address of the Shell Recharge that I'm at, and of course I'll leave a PlugShare review. But yeah, so okay, so I'm using CarPlay, of course, and I'm using a better route planner just to plan out the trip and make sure that everybody knows, kind of ETAs and whatnot. And we're actually currently at this charger right here, the first one there on that list. It says we're 200 feet away, but we're only 5 feet away. This charger can support 150 kilowatts, and there's two of them. And they both are online. And they both have CHAdeMO. You can see the CHAdeMO handles there. So yeah, I'm really feeling these Shell Recharge stations, especially the ones that are provided by Duke, because Duke's a pretty big utility in this area, and as far as I know, big utilities, big businesses, they don't have to do anything. And with the fact that with the fact that they're providing these charging stations at gas stations and all over the place, I actually feel like it's a good thing. So, parking spaces are kind of nicely painted, you know. There's signs everywhere. One thing I will point out, and this is where I actually get out of the car. Let me lose these glasses because the sun's out. I don't need glasses anymore. Get out here. Alright, so following suit with all the other charging stations, there are lights here, so this area would be lit, so you'd be able to see everything. But of course, there's no awning. There's nothing to protect you from, you know, rain, snow, sleet, whatever. But there is a Subway and a Quality Mart over there. And around back, there's actually a spot for trucks to rest. So this is a pretty decent size, you know, it's a really nice little area. So, yeah. This Bolt's actually doing really well. It actually got better efficiency than what a better route planner originally thought. It had to recalculate itself, I think, 2 or 3 times. Just based on, I guess, the efficiency that I was pulling in some of the areas around Charlotte. As I was driving through right at daybreak, you know, there was some traffic and I slowed down, and, you know, when you're going 40, 45, 50, 55 miles per hour, your efficiency skyrockets. And then when you're going 75, which is the speed limit around here, I think 70 is the speed limit. I think we were cruising around 75. You know, it plummets. It drops really quick. So, but I'm, like I said, 3.3 miles per kilowatt hour. Currently at 148.1 miles. So I'll reset that when I leave just to get to the next stop, because I already know total mileage of the trip. I have it actually on the map. And yeah, I don't have a lot of stuff with me. I brought, you know, my range bag because I'm going to go training. I got my backpack. I got a cooler in here. I'm going to go in here, get some food, get some ice, get some drinks. And I didn't bother packing my clothes. I just threw them in there with a change of shoes. So that's about it. I don't know what else I could say about this charging station. It actually works pretty well. Forgive the flickering screen, but you can kind of see what's happening here. It's really nice. All right. You'll see me at the next one. All right, everybody, we made it to Christiansburg, Virginia. We are at an EVGo station this time, and I'd like for you to meet Liam and Tablita. Tablita is actually a Native American name that means tiara. So, unfortunately, Miss Tiara would not charge the car at all. It had problems. It would charge for a few seconds and then drop off. It wouldn't even let me complete the auto charge enrollment, which I'll tell you about in a second. But suffice it to say, Liam plugged it in. Boom! I was able to use my. Oh no! What did I do with my? What did I do with my cards? They're somewhere. I bet you I'm sitting on them. I always do that. I'll activate a charger, and if I'm using the little RFID cards, I'll throw them in the chair, and then I won't move them, and then I sit on them. It's okay. It doesn't matter. So I use the EVGo RFID card to start the charger, and then my phone at that moment popped up the EVGo notification saying, "Hey, do you want to complete the enrollment for the auto charge?" And I said, "Oh yeah, absolutely." Auto charge is a functionality where, kind of like a Tesla, you just take the charging handle, plug it into the car, the charger talks to the car tells it who it is, and then the charger just activates it, because the unique signature of the charger, I guess of the car, is actually programmed then to your account that you have set up. So as long as you have a valid payment method attached to it, it should just pick up and go. And it did. It works great. These chargers are charging at, I think their peak capacity is 50 kilowatts. We are at a mall, and I'm sitting inside the car because it's 1,000 degrees outside. There's nothing here, and also this mall is closed. There's a lot of cars here, I'm guessing employees, but it is 10:41 on Sunday morning, and they're still not open. Using my third display here, I can tell you that we're charging at 45 kilowatts. Actually, we're pulling 45 kilowatts. We're charging at 43.8 kilowatts because the air conditioning is on and it's drawing power, and that unit is maxed out, so we can't overdraw above and beyond the maximum charging curve of this car. So I will tell you though, this is my second time ever stopping at an EVGo station, and it's not that I don't like them or something. They're very hard to come by, especially in my area where I live. Even in California where I lived, Electrify America was everywhere, but EVGo was in parts where, you might go once a year for, a family vacation or something. It wasn't on main. I don't, at least not to my knowledge at that point in time when I was there driving 2 years ago, that I came across any EVGos. Doesn't matter. The point is, these work. They're slower, but hey, you could walk around. You can, if this mall were open, this outlet over here, you could go in. There's a couple stores here: Kirkland's, Home Goods, Twist and Shake, looks like a pretzel store, and yeah, there's a Holiday Inn that way. There's a Panda Express that way. There's a Olive Garden that way. And there's a restaurant over here that I don't know what that's the backside of it, so I don't know what it's called. But one bad thing about this place is there's absolutely no lighting over these chargers. You can access them 24/7, but the nearest light is about 100 feet away, and it's a directional LED. So I'm pretty sure that this part would be pitch black, or at least close to it, in the middle of the night. Also, no canopy, just like in true electric charging fashion. There's no canopy, there's no lights. So, and this is a mall, so it might attract after hours riffraff. I don't know. I I don't know what this area of, what is it, Christiansburg? Yeah, Christiansburg, Virginia. I don't know anything about it. I mean, it looks nice. I don't see trash everywhere. I don't see, you know, the usual refinements when it comes to an uptick of riffraff. What can I say? Anyway, I don't know if I'm missing anything. I need to go get my caffeine refill from the cooler in the back because I'm out up here. All I have is my water. I'm out of tea. I was really hoping for a gas station or something to be over here to get some iced tea, you know, something cold. But I may just have to resort to some ice cubes and some, you know, semi-lukewarm tea, because, yeah, I got ice cubes, but I've just put the tea in, so it's going to be warm. So I wanted to get a cold one. It doesn't matter. I'm rambling. Just let it go. All right, so it is 10:45 right now. I've been on the road since 0500, so I'm 5 hours and I'm almost 6 hours into this trip, and I'm actually having a good time with it. Besides losing my mind and just rambling and whatnot, that's part of this. You know, there's no way to get around that, but I'm actually having a really good time. Super Cruise is actually, I'd say, about 98% today. It randomly disconnects and it tells me there's no road information available, yet it's, you know, a clean freeway. You know, no construction zones. It actually goes through construction zones, but then the normal already built road it has trouble with. So I don't know if maybe when they did the mapping for Super Cruise, there was construction there and they took the construction road, and then when they put the road back to what it was, now the GPS doesn't line up with the car properly, because it's really sensitive to that. It's my guess. I don't know. It's really weird, but that's happened probably about, I don't know, about 10, maybe 15 times in the last, I don't know, 3 hours or so, because all through North Carolina, it was okay. So probably about the last 90 minutes or so, it's been off and on, really flaky in Virginia. But you know what? I can live with it. It forces me to use my brain a little bit, which keeps me awake, and it brings up my my OCD and alert levels to a heightened state, which allows me to be a little bit safer on the road. With Super Cruise, I found that it was very easy to just stare off into the distance and actually miss miles and miles of road. Like, I would look in the mirror and be like, what did I miss? And then realize, wow, I just went miles and miles without paying attention to anything. So it was my first kind of stare off into space experience. So I really have to be careful with that. I really have to be a little bit more conscious about actually being present when the car's driving. I'd hate to wake up in the morgue, you know, so got to be careful with that. So I'm going to caffeinate. I'm going to do my thing. I'm going to let this charge. We're at, where are we at? We're about 50% right now on the DIC. We're still charging at 40. We're actually at 45.5 kilowatts going in to the car, and then 43.7 going into the battery, kilowatts that is. So it's not super fast, but you know what? I'll rest. I might take a 15-minute nap, wake up 4 hours later. Yeah. Like I said, I'm going to empty out my cooler. Well, not empty it out, but I'm going to rearrange it so that I can get some of my caffeinated drinks out of the bottom of it that I got for emergency purpose. Like, you know, I typically flock towards iced tea, like a nice Snapple. Love Snapple. The peach tea is my go-to. But every once in a while, I will break down for a Starbucks espresso shot, and I put those in the bottom. And if I need to boost my brain, I'll either pull off, go to a rest stop or whatever, go get it, do a Popeye thing where it goes through your arms and goes ga-doom, 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 and then get back in the car and go. So that's about it. Not much else to talk about here. I will see you guys at the next one. Thanks so much for joining me. I hope you're enjoying the driving footage. We'll see you soon. All right, everybody, we have made it to Fincastle, Virginia. It's our next charging stop here at this Electrify America station. Doing pretty good. I'm at a relatively high state of charge, and the reason I had to stop here, and actually I'm going to have to go probably to 100% here, which is not ideal, but there's a very long leg uphill, and the weather's starting to get kind of grimy, and it's about 180 miles. So no matter which way I sliced it, a better route planner wanted me to go 50 miles per hour to get there without having to stop here first. So I had to add a charging stop, and it's a relatively long one because we're already at 70%. We're only charging at 33 kilowatts, and actually this says slightly different. We're pulling 56 kilowatts from the charger, but we're actually charging at 35.6 kilowatts. So yeah, but I am running the AC compressor at almost 21 kilowatts by itself. So I don't know how that's possible, but it is what it is. As far as the station goes, it's 4 stalls. Again, I'm inside the car because out there it's noisy. Also, there's some kind of a sewery smell, and I think there's some vents over there that are making it really unpleasant outside, but in here it's quite lovely. 4 stations. I'm sitting at the 350 just because of placement. Also, there were other vehicles that were charging. One already left. I think another one pulled up, and so there's one charger left open at this site. The site works. I'm gonna do like I did with the other two sites, and I'm gonna leave a plug share review. I think all the hardware's in place. I think these are kind of decent. Also, as far as amenities go, I'm going to show you out the back window here. We are at an Exxon gas station, and we are at a country store. In fact, this place right here is called Brews Mill Country Store in Fincastle, Virginia. Kind of a nice place. This is right out of the Electrify America app. So, not much to do around here besides, you know, the gas station and whatever this country store is. I'm actually going to check it out because I haven't eaten yet. I finished my bag of beef jerky that I brought with me. There's a few pieces left on the bottom, but I've got beef jerky up to here, so I'm gonna find something that's a little bit more chewy, like not like hard beef jerky type, like yeah. Anyway, that's it. The last charging stop at that EVGo site, I rested a little bit. I closed my eyes for about 10-12 minutes, and then my head popped off the headrest thinking, oh my god, it's 5 hours later. It was only 12 minutes later, or 10 minutes later, whatever it was. So, yeah. This trip so far has been actually really great. We are... I don't know how far we are from home. Let's see what would happen. Actually, I don't want to use my phone because I'm using the CarPlay portion of it for a better route planner. So let me grab my iPad here out of the seat pocket and see how many miles it is from here to my house, so I know how many miles I've driven, plus minus. Okay, maps. Let's do directions, home. So from here home, it's about 4 hours 17 minutes. Well, okay, so Apple Maps doesn't by default take charging into consideration. I wish it would, but so it's 213 miles away. So yeah, that would probably take about 6 hours or so. 2 charging stops. Wait, how many miles did that say? 216? 213. So 213 miles. Yeah. I made it here with 2 stops. So, you know, with all the hills and everything else. And there was actually a brief storm that came through. I hope the camera up front got a view of it. But it was very, very large raindrops. The biggest splatter I've ever seen. Like every time a drop splattered on the windshield, it probably splattered about 4 inches. So it was very, very large. Like somebody took a bucket and just started watering. But yeah, it's kind of nice. I'm going to step out here for a second. I'm going to show you guys what's out here. And then I'm going to head into the store and see what they have in there. Maybe there's something good, something country eats. Biscuits and gravy. Ooh, biscuits and gravy. That actually sounds really good right now. Besides, I have another probably hour left to get to 100%. I am actually going to charge here to 100%. And it is what it is. So, you guys stick around. I ended up getting a spicy chicken sandwich. It's not really spicy. And I don't think the bread is actually baked all the way. I guess it is what it is. Chicken tastes like chicken. That's good. So I decided to take a walk behind the tree line. You could actually see my Bolt over there. And I just checking out this installation back here. I don't know if you guys can see these giant drops. Look off in the trees there. Absolutely massive. And you know what? This rain is cold. Cold. Oh, it's really coming down now. Let's get out of here. There's a trash can right there. So there's a trash can. There's illumination above each stall. I love it. But no canopy like those guys have. Okay. Yeah, these drops aren't as big as the ones from the road. Those were very big. But you know what? Kind of refreshing, to be honest. It is really humid and really, I mean, it's warm. It's in the 70s, I think. Is it? Let's see what it says. Oh, it's 87. And it's not as bad as you know, I'm used to further south. But I think it's a nice, very nice change of pace. It actually cheered me up and made me feel better. But yeah, so I don't know if you guys saw over there when I was walking. If you look in the ground, right next to that charging cabinet there, there's actually, there's 8 giant, they might be Schedule 40 PVC tubes. And that might be to add more of those boxes, more of those cabinets to support more chargers. If that's the case, this is going to be a primo destination. It's certainly going to be a really nice one. Also, this hardware, this charging hardware is relatively new. I didn't get the manufacturer dates off of it, but well, it's working, unlike, you know, most of the EA facilities in South Carolina. But you know what? We're not in South Carolina anymore. Anyway, we are at, let me show you. We're at 93% DIC. That's what the driver information cluster shows you over there. I don't know if this gives you anything. Just tells you 90% complete. So this kind of lines up with the gross. It tells you the estimated capacity, which I'm not sure how accurate that is because, well, I'm just not sure. The battery's taking 18 kilowatts, about 19 kilowatts in. We are receiving 24 kilowatts from the charger. And yeah, you can see this is actually what's going into the battery right here. So it sort of matches that. I guess there's some residual loss. Motor temp, that came down. Trans temp, that came down. Ambient air temp, I'd love to know where the sensor to that is, but I bet you it's somewhere near or around the computer. Radiator's at 31% duty cycle. Pump is at 2475 RPMs with an average battery pack temperature of 82.4. Obviously, we're not heating. We are pumping AC. We have some heat on. I guess that part of that's dehumidification. And then you have the compressor running at 9 kilowatts. Sweet. All right, and down here, I don't know, useful fact or not, this car has been charged 216 times in just under 7,800 miles. So there you go. Average cell, 4.2 volts. State of charge variance, 0.4% across the entire pack. So, yeah. Cool. I think we're going to let this thing click off at 100%. Once it gets there, we're going to hit the road. We have, I think, 2 more stops to make. And if the drive is like this, I'm going to be a happy camper. In fact, I love that. There's something about rain that takes all of my stress away. Almost as if it were natural. Anyway, I'm going to get out, get wet, go in the trunk, get my drinks arranged. There's some cold stuff on the bottom, some warm stuff on top, so I'm going to flip it around and get ready for the next leg. And I think I'm going to need a caffeine boost at the next charging stop. Let's see where that is. Actually, I don't know if it'll let me do it while I'm on. No, I disabled CarPlay for recording purposes. So once I get on a better route planner, I'll figure out the distance, where to go, etc., etc. So if you're still with me, I appreciate you sticking around. I put a fresh memory card in there. I did offload the other one. I put the other footage already on the computer, so that way I could have that when that one filled up. So we'll see. For now, the camera's still on. It's raining. Doesn't seem to really care one way or the other. So we got 5% left. We're charging at 17 kilowatts now. And then after that, we're gonna head out. So I will see you at the next stop. All right, everybody, so I pulled off the highway to get something to drink at a Shell gas station. No chargers here. I just decided to pull off, and actually I'm diagnosing the camera, the hood camera, because I think it's done. It won't boot anymore. It recorded all the way up until that card was full. I pulled the card out, put in the blank one from this morning that I offloaded while I was charging, and the camera itself is not booting on. So I'm gonna do the due diligence that all good people do with flooded tech, and that's just to let it dry out. It would be a shame if this camera finally bit the bullet, but it would force me to buy another DJI action cam. This is a GoPro, by the way, so in case the big GoPro sign doesn't tell you. It's also in a small rig enclosure. It's not really meant for the kind of application that I'm using, this metal case that is, but you know, it prevents like bugs and stuff from beating up your camera. It still beats it up, but not as gloriously as if it didn't have a case on it at all. And I also like it so if the camera ever falls down a flight of stairs, or, you know, this small rig aluminum body is actually really nice. Also, it being aluminum, it disperses a lot of heat. My cameras don't overheat anymore. GoPros in aluminum enclosures, best thing ever. The aluminum sucks the heat away from the cameras. So, yeah, there's a bunch of water inside the camera, so we're going to let this guy dry out. I just dried the battery off. There was water coming out of the terminals of the battery, so it's not shorted or anything. It's not hot, so that's good. But I thought I would just share that with you, that this camera is on brake. It wanted a union brake, so I'm going to give it a scheduled union brake. All right, we have one more charging stop ahead. It is, I believe, an hour away. We have about 50% left. Here, let me flip the camera on so you can see everything. So we got about 113 miles on the GOM. We crossed 7,900 miles about 5 miles ago, and we're getting 3.6 miles per kilowatt hour, which is amazing because you can see the digit that's up there. Cruise control was set to that, and this is the average I'm getting, so not bad. If we look at the usage here, so far I've used 124.1 kilowatt hours from the start of my trip. I drove 428 miles with the trip average of 3.4 miles per kilowatt hour. That is just leg average from the last charging stop. And you can see I got my temperature set to 68, so it's not using a lot of energy to cool. But terrain's been helping me a lot, and also the outside temperature. My technique has always sucked, so I just have a lead foot, but I could have gained 42 miles if I would have driven like a normal person does. So yeah, we're gonna move on to the next charging stop, which, like I said, will be in about, I don't know, 70 miles or so. And then we're gonna charge up there enough to get us to Harrisburg. I'll be happy. Oh, by the way, Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, not Harrisonburg, Virginia. Two different places. But anyway, let me put this camera away. I'll see you guys there.